Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables and welcome to a recent reads video. I feel like I haven't done one of these in months. I've been doing vlogs, but I'm not feeling in a vlog mood, so we're just going to do some recent reads. So today I'm going to talk about 5 books that I've read so far in the month of November. Hopefully I'll have read more. Fingers crossed. But if you don't know with my recent reads, I tell you what the book is about, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, ratings, and I keep it all spoiler free. I have timestamps down below in case you want to hear about one particular book or if you want to watch all of them, just continue on through. So the books I will be talking about today are The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave, The Songbird of Heart and Stone by Carissa Broadbent, Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage, and finally, P.S. I Hate You by Lauren Connelly. Before I get into talking about what the books are all about and my feelings on them, I do want to thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even chat sessions with your therapist. I think it's great because you can pick what type of therapy you want in case you're not a person that likes to do video or stuff like that. You can just do text, live text if you want to, or live chats, whatever you feel necessary. So in case you're hesitant to start therapy and you're like, I'm not sure exactly, BetterHelp is a great choice because all you have to do is go online to their site and fill out a brief survey, and it just asks you why you're at their site today, what you're looking to get out of therapy, maybe what's triggering you right now, and from there they will pair you up with a therapist. And what's even better about that is maybe the therapist you're paired up with is just you guys aren't jiving, and that's okay because that happens a ton. BetterHelp offers you to switch therapists with no additional charge, which is great because you have to really gel with your therapist because they're your therapist. You have really deep, intimate conversations with them as you should, but you want to make sure it's a good relationship. So I love that BetterHelp offers that because you want to find the right fit, and that is very, very important. Also, what's important is therapy. Therapy is phenomenal. It can help you through so many things, whether you're going through some past traumas, whether you're going through current traumas, maybe dealing with anxiety or depression. The list goes on. Therapy is amazing. I always recommend it and use it and love it because it really helps you and it helps the people that you love around you because you need to be your best self. And to be your best self, sometimes you need therapies, and that is a-okay. The stigma on therapy is getting less and less in this country, and I'm so glad about it because everyone could use help, not just particular people. Everyone can benefit from help, and BetterHelp is perfect for helping you. So join the 3 million plus people that have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. They're doing so good. They're even adding therapists in all states, and that's just phenomenal because that means more people are asking for help, which is always a win. And in case you are interested in therapy, you're like, money, I get it, this economy is not the best. I have a coupon code for you. All you have to do is go to www.betterhelp.com/bookables to get 10% off your first month. So you can always try it before you really commit to it, and you get to save some money because, like I said, this economy, everything's expensive. Literally everything, and this will help with some expenses because getting yourself help is priority. So make sure you check that out. But thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Now let's get on to all the books I read. So first up, I want to talk about The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. So Laura Dave is no stranger to writing. I don't know why I said that. She's written plenty of books. She really came onto the scene with, oh my gosh, Things He Left Behind. I think that's what it was called a few years ago. It won like the Goodreads Award. It was really hyped, and I read it and I was like, why was this nominated for mystery thriller? Because it really wasn't. And I think the reason why I didn't like it so much is because it was so poorly mismarketed. So I was very interested to see how I was feeling I was very interested to read this to know kind of where her genre is so I can, I guess, set my expectations. And I have to say I enjoyed it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It wasn't like groundbreaking or amazing or anything like that, but it was a good mystery. There's nothing really thrilling about it, but it's a good mystery and a family at the heart of it, I would say. So, got a character named Nora, and her father recently passed away. He apparently took his own life by going off of a cliff at his like beach house that he loves and adores. And then one day Nora's half-brother Sam knocks on her door and he's like, I don't think Dad did this. I think somebody pushed him off that cliff. And Nora's very like, I don't know, because her dad's always been very closed off. He has had multiple kids with multiple relationships and kept them in separate boxes so they never intertwine. So Nora's never really had a good relationship with Sam, but she's always had a good relationship with her dad. And so she decides maybe to investigate this because maybe what Sam is saying is true. And what goes on from there is figuring out about their father's life, about his past love life, and exactly if he did take his own life or did he get pushed off a cliff. And that you get a mystery, kind of a familial mystery, and I enjoyed it. I would say just set your expectations. Is this going to be fast-paced, thrilling? No, but it's a good mystery and it's a good family one at that. So I liked it. I definitely think it helped me with knowing what type of genre she writes. That way I set my expectations accordingly. So I think if I would read this and I was like, it was recommended for like the best thriller of the year, I would be like, this is not that. So there you have it for that. But I enjoyed it. Next book I want to talk about is going to be kind of difficult because it's kind of a sequel, kind of not. But that is The Songbird of Heart. No. It's The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. So this is the third book in her Crowns of Nyxia series. She previously wrote The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I read last year. Loved, one of my favorite books. So I had very high expectations for this one. And I don't want to say I was let down, but they just weren't, it wasn't as, I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. I'll just say that. I gave it a 4 out of 5, which is not a bad rating at all, but I think I was comparing it too much to the first book, and that's a problem because the first two books primarily center on two certain characters, and the third book now is taking a completely different turn with a different character, which I'm fine with, but I don't know. I think let me just tell you what the book is about. Let me shut up. So this book is about Mish, who we have seen in the previous book. She has been a friend of Orion in the previous books, and now she's kind of at her lowest point. She's been captured because this is a world of fantastical. She's a vampire. But before she was a vampire, she had powers and worshipped a certain sun god. And so when she became a vampire, she kind of lost her powers for that. Now she is caught prisoner in like the House of Shadow, I believe, and she's about to get executed. Then luckily the Prince of House of Shadow saves her, Azar, and he's like, I got this mission and I need somebody that studied with the sun god to help me out. And so they have to go kind of to the underworld, to like the 7 layers, I think what it is. They have to go to the underworld facing trials, beasts, and vengeful ghosts from their past. And you have all that. So they have different layers like breath and stuff like that because that's how it goes with the underworld. You go through layers and basically they're there to do a certain job. And Azar's only saved Mish to help him and he does not really care about her, or so you think. I know I wanted to love this more. I did like Mish and I did like Azar. I like their chemistry. You get to learn a lot about Mish and her backstory of how her life was before she was a vampire, how she committed herself to this god and that really didn't care about her that much. And also these powers, you get to go in the underworld and it was good. It just wasn't The Serpent and Wings of Night. I think what made The Serpent and the Wings of Night amazing is the trial aspect of it. There was this huge tournament where you had to go through many different trials, and I am a sucker for those books. I think those are amazing books because it keeps you engaged, it keeps you interested. I do feel like the author kind of tried to replicate that with this, with going through the different layers of the underworld, but it just wasn't the same. It didn't have the same gravitas for me. So overall, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I can't really say anything else because I don't want to spoil it, but it did leave off on a cliffhanger, I'll say that, but she's known for that. So I will be to continue on with this series for sure, but it just isn't anywhere near The Serpent and the Wings of Night for me. That's just me personally. So take it with what you will. On to an audiobook I listened to, and that is Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz. This is life on a cult TV show while also an actual cult. So into more audiobooks. I can only manage one, maybe 2 a month if I am lucky. I can maybe listen to like 15 minutes to 20 minutes a day. I know that's crazy and I listen to it at normal speed, but kids control what I listen to, okay? Okay. But somehow, for some reason, I'm always drawn to celebrity memoirs. I think it's because they read them, so you get to I think it's because they narrate them, so you get to listen to them. And let me tell you right now, this girl should win an award for the audiobook because she put on a show. It was a production. She had other actors in there. It was phenomenal. So I loved it. I love listening to it. Now, also with this actress, if you don't know who she is, which I did not, she was on One Tree Hill, which is a very classic CW WB show. I never watched One Tree Hill. I know, it's very weird for me to say that because I feel like it was right in my time slot. Like, it came on in 2003, and I think I was I was like 14 at the time, so I was the perfect like target demographic for it, but I never watched it. I don't know why. When I think of the WB for me personally, I was very much a Gilmore Girls, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was my big one, Dawson's Creek. I watched Felicity occasionally. I watched Everwood. But One Tree Hill, I think, was after my time with watching stuff. As weird as that sounds, I don't know. I never checked out One Tree Hill, but I heard of it and I know the appeal of it. I will say after reading this book, I definitely want to watch the show now if I should. Let me know, because am I a sucker for teen dramas? Yes. I did watch The OC on occasion. Did I ever finish it? No. But either way, this is about the character Haley. No, it's not about the character Haley. She played Haley in One Tree Hill. And if you're thinking this is a One Tree Hill kind of book where it's going to talk about the backstory and her filming, it's really not. It's about her being in an actual cult. And Bethany, oh my gosh, I wanted to hug Bethany so bad in this book. Bethany grew up kind of in a religious background. Her parents were religious, taught her about religion, so she loved God from a young age, which is awesome. And basically, her parents split up when she was younger. She was the only child. She never really felt truly loved and accepted and didn't have that really strong family bond that she always wanted. And then she moved to Hollywood and kind of got involved in this very small Bible study group that never was affiliated with any church, which should be a red flag right there. But it was just a bunch of people meeting together in a house every week to discuss the Bible, which sounds great, right? It sounds really nice and cozy and homey. And it started out that way, but then it got more and more intense because a guy took it over and he just started implementing things. And he pretty much took advantage of Joy, took advantage of Joy's kindness and her hardships and her need for family. And what kind of went from there is they took money from her. They made her feel belittled. It was, I don't know how else to explain it. She was in an actual cult because it's like she was brainwashed, if you will. And then she finally got out of it. She was married and had a kid, and it was in a not great marriage, and finally realized that this is not okay. And so she's talking about her experience. I think this is very important, read. She went through some junk. There's no secret about that. But I love the way she talked about it, the way she went through it, and she ultimately got her daughter out of it so she would do it all over again. But man, it was tough. And also talks about her relationship with God. And I'm a religious person. I'm a Christian. And I do think there's a lot of people and a lot of groups out there that take advantage of people 1,000%. Take their money, take advantage of their niceness and kindness, and just warp them into thinking they're nothing without them. Gosh, it was intense. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. 4.5 out of 5. You get snippets of audio from Chad Michael Murray, which is on One Tree Hill, James Lafferty, I believe, which is on One Tree Hill too. I think that was Nathan, Haley and Nathan. Is that right? I don't know. But either way, it was an amazing book, and the audiobook, like I said, amazing production. Amazing. Next up, we have Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This is the third book in her Done and Dusted series. I don't know if the series has a name. Ask me if I've read the second one. I haven't. I've been waiting for this one. I think ever since the first book came out, everyone was waiting for Teddy and August's story, and here we are. So Teddy is the best friend of our main character in the first book, and Augustus is the brother of the main character in the first book. And Teddy and Augustus have known each other for years, but they've always like bickered back and forth. They're like brother and sister. They just truly hate each other. And basically what happens is Augustus has his daughter for the summer by himself because he is a single dad. He's in good relationship with his divorced. He's in good relationship with the child's parent, but he needs some help because he also, runs a ranch and stuff like that. So Teddy's like, fine, I'll help you. I'll be your nanny. And you can guess what happens from there. It's steamy. It's cute. It wasn't anything remarkable, I'll say. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, which I think is what I gave Done and Dusted. I like Lila Sage. I just don't love it. But I do want to say there was this one quote in here so it was a scene where like they were in a bar and Teddy was wearing like some chaps over some jeans or something. He says, "Those chaps are really working for you." I said, "Yeah?" She smiled. I nodded. "They're working for me too." And I literally thought of this scene in Gilmore Girls when Luke and Lorelai first started dating, when he said, "Those jeans are working for you." And she's like, "Yeah, they'll work for me too."
Jeans are really working for you.
Yeah?
They're working for me too.
You're flirting with me.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a literal Gilmore Girls reference. I don't know. Was that the original quote? Probably not. But either way, I was like, crap, this is like, did she get this from Gilmore Girls? I'm not sure. Hello. We have a visitor. Say hello.
Hi.
Want to talk about books?
Well,
But But either way, I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. I do know she's having a 4th book in this series, which I am committed to because she kind of set it up in this book. So I think if you just want a cute, fun... Okay, soon. I think if you just want a cute, fun Western cowboy romance, this is a great series. Is it going to rock your world? No, but it's cute. It's fun. You get the gist. The last book I want to talk about today is my favorite, and that is P.S. I Hate You by Lauren Connelly. So this book follows a character named Maddie, and Maddie at the beginning of the book recently lost her brother to cancer. Her brother was her best friend. She loved and adored him. She came from a very tumultuous family where her mother was verbally abusive, her dad left, her grandmother was horrible. So her brother was really the only kind of lifeline she had to any sort of family. And so when he passes away from cancer, at the funeral, she learns that his best friend, Dom, is the executor of the will and has things for her. Maddie and Dom have had a history. She's always had a crush on him. Years ago, they got together and then he left her the next day. And she's been heartbroken and bitter ever since, which I understand. And so the day of the funeral, they learn that Josh, who is Maddie's brother that passed away, left her and Dom like 7 different letters for states for them to go visit with coordinates, like actual longitude and latitude, is that right? Coordinates to go visit the states he never went to. So I think they go to, which ones do they say they go to? They go to, I know, Alaska, Idaho, South Dakota, I want to say Nebraska, something like that. So he sends them to certain places, and basically he was cremated, and so they divide up the ashes, and each place they go to the place he wanted, read the letter that he wrote them, and they let his ashes go. And it's very interesting because he entrusted both of them to do this, and Maddie's very reluctant because John broke her heart years ago and she doesn't really want to be around him. So this book it takes place through different seasons because they don't go through the whole trip at once. They go through like maybe one month, then one in a couple months. They have to coordinate together. And it's all about Maddie and Dom kind of getting through their feelings, communicating, letting go of Josh as well. This book is very heavy on second chance romance, yes, because of Maddie and Dom, but it's very heavy on grief because they lost someone that they love and adore. And I loved this book. I really, really want to give it a 5 out of 5, but I didn't like the miscommunication. Like, I feel like everything could have been solved at the beginning of the book when Maddie was mad at Dom and been like, here's why I'm mad at you, X, Y, and Z. And let's talk about it and let's just get over it. But no, that girl held on her grudges like she was holding on to a purse that she didn't want to let go. You know what I'm saying? Why I use that analogy, I don't know. But either way, she was just very bitter and very upset, which I understood because of what happened. But I feel like you're both adults now. Talk about it. You're going through this really big thing with letting your brother and his best friend go. Talk about it. Don't make any things more awkward than they already are. Let's get everything out in the open because you lost someone you loved. You don't know when that's going to happen again. Let's just set everything aside and let's talk. That's the one thing I hate about some romance books is the not talking. Like, just talk. So that's why I didn't give it a full out of 5 out of 5. But I will say the romance, top notch. The steaminess, I did not put it in here, top notch. The relationships, the more you find out about Josh and his life and how there were some secrets, amazing. But I loved watching Maddie and Dom get together again, fall in love again, maybe repair some wounds. And also, Maddie, like I said, came from a really crappy feeling. Her mother, if I could punch a mom, I would in this book. She was just horrible, horrible. So the more you read it, you're like, Maddie, like, I don't know how Maddie didn't turn out worse than she did with growing up in this really toxic environment. That's because of her brother. I would definitely recommend it. I know it was on Book of the Month, so hopefully it'll get the hype it deserves, but it's coming out in December, which is like holiday primetime reading. So I'm going to make sure people know about this because I loved it. Like, it's probably going to be one of my favorites of the year. And that's saying a lot. There's not a lot of books that come at the end of the year that come in and like take on my list. But this one might. Something about it, the way that talked about grief and losing someone while also falling in love again. It was just chef's kiss amazing. So there you have my thoughts and feelings on 5 books. I read all of them. There was none that I read that I was like, I can't believe I read this. But I would love to know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts are on them. If I convinced you to read one, did I not convince you to read one? Please let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.